Hey guys, Toby here. So no, today's not a call for help, and I'm not here to make a parasocial relationship with you fuckers, helping me cope with the fact that I'm a lonely fucking bastard. But if that's what you'll perceive me watching this video, go ahead. It's not like you're any better. So, as the title suggests, I'm a sucker for romance and anime. Let me clarify, not romance anime, but two people, whether it's heterosexual, gay, machine-loving angel, have some sort of romantic chemistry in them, even if that's way beyond the main point of the series. It's not like I'm alone in this. Actually, if you weren't somebody that wasn't into anime romance, you'd probably be the odd one out within the anime community. Just as how sex sells and everything, especially in anime, love does too, like in everything. And while I never thought that a quarter of the anime I watch is explicitly romance, and most manga I've read are silly little rom-coms between a shy little boy and a hot girl developing a thing or two with each other, and progress moves at a snail's pace. But I guess it's kinda natural that I'd be so into it. When I was younger, I watched sitcoms with my sister that primarily centered around dating others, and when shit would happen, well, I'd be in fucking ecstasy and be as excited as I would be getting a new Lego set or fleshlight for my birthday. I mean, I first started getting into anime with the Gundam franchise, and even though most are not considered romance anime, there's a lot of couple making going around. Probably to accentuate the theme, make love, not war, war bad, love good, and robot war criming cool. Please buy our toys. But really, there's something about anime romance that makes me want to consume more and more, and that's what I kinda wanna talk about today. Something about watching this shit makes me really fucking happy as I see shit go down with a couple in the series. And while I enjoy seeing the worst characters meet their karma more, what's to say I can't like seeing a pair build up some chemistry and get me screaming at my screen for those two to get fucking already. Though that's mostly unrealistic, so what I really want to see happening, because it does happen, is getting two characters that are obviously in love with each other to do that solidifies their relationship. Holding hands. Yeah, that joke died 5 years ago. Obviously, I meant touching tips. The tips of their mouths? So you want to touch tips. Obviously, where there is yang, there is yin. So while explicit romance is great, and friends just calling themselves friends even though it's totally more than that, let's not forget that the majority of romances is fucking problematic. Regression takes way too fucking long. The series keeps teasing the audience the super duper obviously gay couple is platonic and they're really just best friends, and love polygons. So to celebrate this very special day, or month if I wasn't able to release the video in time, today I'm gonna go over the different romances that happen in anime, how I think about it, and hopefully you get a kick out of this or something. Because I don't want people arguing about how canon isn't really canon in Japan, I'll call them explicit romances because calling it that is probably the best way to describe them. Of course, I'm talking about the romances where the couple explicitly tell each other they love them, they kiss, and bonus points if they have sex. Unfortunately, this is a rare breed and getting the couple to kiss and especially having sex is close to unobtainable. But it's explicit though, so it's the best kind of romance, right? Because anime being anime, I don't really know. It's not really a spoiler for Horimiya that both the main characters get together because it happens early on, but being so used to two characters developing feelings for each other longer than 4 episodes, I find that Hori and Miyamura's relationship goes too fast for my liking. Obviously can be said for the other way around. Why the fuck does a confession happen at the very end of this series, with basically like 1 episode of them being lovey-dovey to each other? I'm looking at you, Toradora and Origaru. An exception that can be made is the 2 main characters from Mekikoi. It's obvious that they love each other from the start, but it really doesn't become official until the last episode. But they do kiss, so all is forgiven. They do have a season 2 too, where they do have cute interactions with each other, even while they're doing the same shenanigans from season 1. But to anybody who's seen season 2... who fucking thought whatever was shown in episode 12 was a good idea, especially if it needs a content warning in the beginning of the episode? So yeah, while I could name a few romances are official, a lot of them are already filled with problems. So what are actually good official couples? The one that should be a surprise to no one is Kaguya and Shirogane from Kaguya-sama. The anime finally adapted the school festival arc, and it was fucking awesome as they were able to recapture that feeling when I blazed through the manga when I was watching season 1, and the first kiss finally happened. Being a manga reader, the relationship gets better. The movie is most likely going to cover the arc that comes right after the school festival arc, which is the solidification of their relationship. While everybody raves about chapter 136 being fucking goated, I personally am fond of 150 where they accept each other even though they are both flawed. Like, I mean, who the fuck isn't? And while the kiss isn't as flashy or anything, it hits hard. And guess what? Their confession and solidification is the halfway mark of the series, so it still develops even after confession. Problems arise for both of them because of distance and family issues. One of them is solved super nonchalantly, and the other is fucking horrendous. But that's a writing problem of the story rather than the relationship. Oh. And they have sex. And the build up for that is fucking amazing. Kinda just sucks how the side relationships never happened, but at least Ako was aware of the small little gay between Shika and Hisaka. But yeah, I really love Kage and Shirogane as individual characters, and the way the relationship has progressed in the series is really the biggest highlight of the series. And of course being funny too. Most of the time. I can't really think of any other official straight relationship that I really like, so let me introduce you to my favorite relationship. You and Toko from Bloom Into You. Watching the anime, I found their relationship very weird, and it's supposed to be very weird. You and Toko, individually, find out they're not straight, and together enter a completely platonic, no strings attached relationship where they're just kissing whenever Toko feels like kissing you, which I find hard to believe it will remain that way, especially later on in the series, where the kissing gets fucking spicy, making go, holy fucking shit. And they do what couples do, only that there is no love involved. Very fucking funny. Because the anime left on the part where things were finally getting somewhere, of course, I read the manga. First of all, it's finished, holy shit. Second of all, fun fact or not, I did not give an absolute shit about my birthday that year because fuck, I was halfway through the manga and it mattered more what the fuck was going to happen than me turning 16 years old. The manga picks up with the school festival play, where Yu and Toko play as the main characters, and if memory serves me correct, Yu slowly starts to realize that she's definitely feeling something for Toko, realizes she can't hold it any longer, and confesses, regretting the words she said as that's the last thing Toko wants to hear from her mouth. But with Yu changing, Toko also has to realize her true feelings herself, that she Eventually, their feelings become mutual, they confess their love, and it's fucking beautiful. Now, this romantic development is already shooting for the stars on its own, but I think what makes this really special to me is that after watching countless of anime ending up being fucking Yuri bait, this is the very first time I see a gay couple become official. It starts off weird, but ends in the best way I could ever think. Oh yeah, one more thing. Sex! So it's my first time seeing a gay couple be real, and right afterwards it's time for late night bed action. Anime has really fucked me up because this is the natural progression. Yeah, it's over right afterwards, but they kissed so many times and had sex. It's good that they ended there instead of milking their love to oblivion. God, I love Bloom Into You. Anyway, I'm done talking about explicit romances. Let's move on. The examples here are bound to change at any moment, but this category of romantic relationships are basically as explicit as official romances, but it's either missing a kiss, a direct love confession to each other with the words I love you, and or an explicit confirmation from the writers themselves. You know how I said explicit romances aren't the best romances in anime? These are the best. Well, nothing can top Yu and Toko. Most of the runner-ups are explicit, but not yet. Nagatoro and Senpai, especially in the manga, Soleta and Miyone, Okurin and Momo, and okay, I think that should suffice. You know, if I haven't read the manga, I would probably be putting Yu and Toko here right now. But it's these relationships where I feel the most giggity. Because, I don't know, romance writers just love making the best moments with couples when they're not together. And it does work as I kick my feet a lot more than official romances. I am indeed the sucker for the journey, not the destination when it comes to these relationships, but I named these specifically because they do not have problems such as being Yuri bait, progression going fucking nowhere, or having any love polygons going on in the journey. Senpai and Nagatoro is my favorite romantic couple that's not official just yet, but we're getting very fucking close to that kiss. It may as well be official, but it's not, so it stands here instead. Yeah, I know many people are very off-put by the first episode or chapter, and go complain about that the relationship only exists because Senpai developed Stockholm Syndrome for his bully, but I've been an avid reader since 2018, so you can't change my fucking mind. Also, I did a smooth brain move and read the original doujins, so whatever this is nothing compared to the horrors I've regrettably read. If you can muster the first interaction between Senpai and Nagatoro, get ready for the cutest heterosexual couple in anime. Nagatoro realizes that she was a tad harsh on Senpai, so she decides to bother him more at his art club, but be a bit less harsh as a way to make amends. But little did they know what they were both getting into. Senpai is not bad of a person as he could be, being an otaku and all, but he does have a sincere passion with art, shifting Nagatoro's focus to being a little teaser for funsies to actually doing all sorts of teasings with a dose of helping him improve as a person and getting him out of his shell. At the same time, Nagatoro finds out in some way that she's interested in him more than she thought, especially when Senpai decides to stand up against her antics and go a bit too far, getting them both embarrassed. Of course, through spending time together, Senpai himself gains romantic feelings, where the relationship comes at this striking point where they both know they like each other, but before that, they want to make themselves the best person they can be before it becomes official, which, yeah, that's technically milking the interactions between them pre-dating, but hey, slow progress is still progress, and at least the small steps are there. It happens all the time, and my heart needs more! God, Nagatoro and Senpai are so cute together. I need them kissing more than I want to see them fucking, even though the series leans very forward towards fan service. I love the anime adaptation really enforcing how they are both tsundere to each other, Nagatoro trying to be as teasy as possible, but when Senpai fights back, well, embarrassment hits both of them. Let me not forget to mention all the side characters, which every time a new female character is introduced, you think it'll be a potential candidate for a love triangle, but each and every time, they become a wing woman for both Nagatoro and Senpai, encouraging the both of them to just bone each other already. Yeah, I know, the series is way too fucking wholesome to be realistic, but it's really the only series I can think of where romantic progression actually doesn't go wrong because of dramatic cliches that lets the author keep printing money and leaving the audience fucking infuriated. Seriously though, can the manga get to that kiss soon? This video is getting long. I talked about my favorites already, so I'm gonna pick up the pace. Gundam The Witch from Mercury is doing a lot of firsts for the Gundam franchise, and it's so good to know how almost explicit the gay is between Suletta and Mirone. The first episode shocked probably the entire fan base, ending the episode with the two technically gay as they become engaged. But since they just met, it could just be a gay relationship by law rather than being something more. But it does come something more, showing how much Mirone does care for Suletta, and being confirmed that Suletta was indeed down bad for her legs. And the fans, from the West and Japan, eat that shit up like there's no fucking tomorrow. Later on, Suletta shows that she has feelings for Mirone too, standing tall as her position as her groom and getting fucking destroyed by Mirone through a misunderstanding, resolved by the very next episode. That episode is truly a Christmas present as it was released on Christmas Day, where it's basically a confession between Suletta and Mirone. It's so fucking cute and amazing, though I wish I was able to react accordingly if it weren't for the fact that I was watching the episode with my dad, who's homophobic, but does realize that these two are hella gay. And then there's episode 12. Finally, I want to make an honorable mention to Okurun and Momo from Dan Da Dan. I basically got into the manga because people were saying how cute of a pair Okurun and Momo were, and guess what? They're a super duper adorable couple, and for those who are caught up, it's a fucking blessing that they have realized their feelings for each other. They're explicit about it. Now it's just time to get them to say it to each other, though I'm fine waiting as there's quite some heavy shit going on right now. Okay, I know Dan Da Dan is not anime, but considering that I've already mentioned a bunch of manga, well, whatever, there's no more manga after this anyway. Oh god, this is getting really long. I don't even know if I'm going to get to the last category at this point. Anyway, they were roommates couples, meaning the romance between a couple is ambiguous up to the point it enters shipping territory. While the previous category is just one step away from couples being official, this really leans into uncertainty. Look, these couples have chemistry, but whether or not they're going to get banging is something I'm not confident of. Lloyd and Yor are very cute together in the anime, and while they are technically married, they aren't aware of their romantic feelings towards one another. Lloyd believes that what he's doing is all for the mission. Stop making excuses, you silly rabbit. And Yor just wants to be a good wife for her family, but she has yet to realize why she felt so jealous when Fiona was tennis partners with Lloyd. At least Fiona is honest with her feelings, and Anya's just stuck in the middle having to listen to everybody's thoughts. Then, there's the other side of this category spectrum, with red blood cell and white blood cell from Cells at Work. These two are very much working buddies living under one body. It's probably self-cess at this point, but you know, I highlight watching the series back when it aired was when those two interacted, and from the back of my mind, yeah, they really are just friends, but I want to see them more than that. Speaking of just friends, this category is dominated by Yuri couples, especially because how much of a cute girl doing cute thing connoisseur I am, and because most of these shows have 99% women in them, there's bound to be chemistry between two female characters. This is Yuri bait territory, which is about time that I get divisive on how romance is handled in anime. But first, I do want to mention some good ambiguously gay couples. I recently rewatched Feburary because season 2 is airing this season, and my god, there really is something between Maple and Sally. While you can't just interpret them as just really good friends, well, they've technically been on 2 dates where it's just them in a secret location spending some quality time together. Shamiko and Momo are also really gay, as much as Suletta and Mione are. Shamiko really likes rubbing Momo's belly. Momo did turn to the dark side just to save Shamiko's life. Okay, maybe I should have mentioned them in the previous category, but at least I mentioned them. Fine, it may be recent, and I guess I gotta mention it, but there is quite a bit of chemistry between Bocchi and the rest of Kesuko Band. From G, I wonder what underrated gem I'm talking about. When it started out, I wasn't really thinking that it'd be gay, and be totally fine with it because I came here for Bocchi going fucking insane. But there's definitely something more when Bocchi reveals that she is indeed Guitar Hero when Nijika asks, and what comes next is that she calls Bocchi her fucking hero. The Yuri post now makes sense between these two. But what's this? Oh, Kita goes even harder, wanting to show everybody how cool fucking Bocchi is, and becomes quite dedicated to do so. So now the gay post of Bokita makes sense. Then comes the splurge of Bokita arc, which that's pretty fucking good. So what's Yuri bait? Yuri bait, by common definition, is a strong hint of gay between two characters, but it never goes out of ambiguity on purpose, and bonus points if it was designed more to appeal straight men more than actual lesbians. The biggest example as of recent is Licore's Recoil, which I pretty much never watched out of the fear that this was Yuri bait, and by the end, it seemed to be Yuri bait all the way through, as there's no kissing or direct confrontations, but there is an entire episode dedicated to the two shopping for underwear, and this. Chisada is shown to have huge fucking thighs. That's great. Can I see some tone for once? And while there's a lot of gay art between Chisada and Takina, there's also a lot of male gaze art, a lot of which overlap with the gay art. Nanoha is recognized as the first magical girl anime intended more for men than women, so yes, Nanoha and Fate is also Yuri bait, though this is a very nice part. But that's not the biggest gripe I have with the series. Don't make me open that can of worms just yet. To my current audience who's been wondering why I haven't mentioned this show yet, well, sorry for the wait. I thought Symphogear would be Yuri bait, but it's more of a mixed bag than I realized. One pair is pretty much an explicit romance, another might as well be explicit, and the last having a huge David energy. But I don't like all of them. First, can you guess which is which? Time's up, let me go over all of them. Kirika and Shirabe explicitly say they love each other as they fight themselves to death, but the romantic development kinda stays stagnant in the next 3 seasons as their own individual character development does as well. You can pair Mario, Chris, or Kanade with Tsubasa as the They Were Roommates couple. I knew they were the least likely to happen, but they were the ones that I got excited the most. Kanade just being Kanade with Tsubasa, and she couldn't get over her death for years. Chris and Tsubasa were enemies to friends, which is always a great dynamic, and Tsubasa and Mario always flirting with each other. Also, 2 hot women are doing hot shit together, of course I'm gonna eat that shit up like no tomorrow. Then you got the stars of the gay, Hibiki and Miku, which I'm gonna call the ultimate Yuri bait. Ascending from the They Were Roommates relationship to something that might as well be explicit, it just missed one thing to be part of the wholly explicit romance list. First of all, while there's without a doubt that there's incredible amounts of gay between Hibiki and Miku, like Kirika and Shirabe, their progression stays stagnant for the entire series. Sure, there's always a life and death situation between those two, but nothing actually changes because the situation comes from a problem introduced within the season. Hibiki is terrible at keeping secrets. Miku get mad, but then she feel very sorry. What's the outcome of this? A cool photo. Oh no, Hibiki in danger from Gungnir? Ooh, Miku got danger remover. What's the outcome? Actually nothing to the romantic progression. Oh no, Hibiki no sing. Miku in danger and say words. Does that do anything? No! At least this didn't exist. So, you catch my drift. Hibiki finally thinks selfishly wanting Miku for her own, but it's like, too late, too little for me to squeal. It really what makes the conclusion very infuriating. Finally, we get the old married couple finally having some romantic progress, and no, that's not happening. End of show. You can watch the OVA to see Miku be even gayer than in the anime, but there's still nothing to gain from it. It's such a middle finger from the writers. This video has officially become too long to go over my last category. So, in a very cool mappa fashion when adapting the final season of Attack on Titan, this isn't the end of this topic, but this is the end of the video. If this video ends up being released on Happy Valentine's Day, and you made it up to the end of this video, well, unanimously, we're all fucking lonely. Unless you're watching this with your partner, which I don't know if I want to say fuck you, or why are you watching this together, you absolute sickos. Have you come here to laugh at me? Anyway, when the time comes, which is definitely not soon, will part 2 come out. I've covered the good and the not so good of romance and anime, but prepare yourselves for the ugly.